Today is day 47 on Road to a Million, and I did something today. I did something I didn't think I would have the courage to do, and yet I did it. Here I stand in ways that I never expected to stand, and it feels incredible. It feels, yeah, it was something I was gonna wait until Monday to like let it all set in. I just I couldn't wait till Monday. I had to do it today. Like as soon as I got on the call, like I felt my chest, like my heart, it was like pounding. It was it was the feeling that like I would have when I was in meetings beforehand, and I would have something to say, yet I wouldn't say it because I didn't want to be a burden to the people around me. Whereas today I was like, you know what? As soon as I got on the call, I decided to turn it on because like I knew that if I didn't do it today, like I would have done it on Monday. It's just then like it would have just delayed the inevitable. So I figured just bite it in the bud. I think that's a saying. I figured let's just give it a go, do it. So that's what I did. And yeah, so I put in my 2 weeks at my job today, a job that saw my value and saw my worth as an individual and promoted me up the ranks in time in a way that has never been done beforehand. And I'm eternally grateful for the company that I worked for them to give me the opportunities to be able to do the type of work that I was able to do with them. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to make a drastic change, I would say, to my life. Essentially, the plan as of now is to go to Southeast Asia or like Southeast Asia, just go over to Asia, essentially. Maybe Vietnam, Thailand, Bangkok, make it over to Japan, like immerse myself in immerse myself in Eastern culture with my brother, essentially, for at least 3 months or so. At least that's probably be longer because like there's gonna be videos of that coming out every single once or twice a week, I would say. We'll see. Gonna plan that through a little bit, but yeah. So gonna be moving all of this stuff out into my dad's house in about week and a half ish or so. Yeah, like I'm never gonna get younger. I'm almost 30, which just kind of dawned on me the other day when I was bringing that up. It's like 27, 2.5 years. Essentially, I'll be 30, and I'm like I don't regret the decisions that I made, not at all. I've worked so hard from about 18 to 27 to be able to do this essentially. And now that I'm here and I have the skills to be able to create videos for one, sell myself for two, and three, like understand myself internally as well, there's really nothing that stands in my way. And now I can actually live the life that I've always dreamed of within inside my own head. I knew that I had to put in the work. Like I knew that I had to read the books. I knew that I had to learn how to sell. I knew that I need to learn how to do videography. And one of the guys, when I was on this trip back in August, right around when I started doing these after I got back from that trip, and I think I might have talked to it on like day 3 or 4. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong. Might have been 5 or 6. I'm not sure the exact day. He said something to me where it's like you do everything, like everything you do has a purpose essentially. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's all I do. Like, I got the government job because I need to learn how to do video editing / After Effects. And I learned how to do that, and it's just like riding a bike. Like once you do it, like you'd never forget essentially. And I was watching home videos of me riding the bike, and like I was struggling at first. It's just I got better as time went on. That's why I've been doing lots of running as well too. Is like running has never been my strong suit. Cardio has been the one thing that I've always neglected the most. And yet over these past say 7 days or so, I've been running, and like at first like I'd run just a little while and then I'd be like completely out of breath, and now I can like run even longer than I ever could beforehand, and that's just in like 7 days. So I'm like, if I was able to do that amount of growth in that short period of time, it's like, what else can I do in a short-ish period of time? Like the muscles, like working out, like that takes years. That takes years. Like you will see progress. I will tell you this. Like I saw progress right away. is just to be able to maintain this like it's something that I do every single day. It's not something that I just like, so I get fit once and then I never get fit again. So I'm going to make videos on YouTube, be creative. And yeah, that's the plan. One of my buddies, best friend's brother, essentially. I figure might as well have him come along with the journey on me. Like, I've been doing this by myself for so long. I might as well welcome somebody else into my world, more or less. If I need to isolate again, have no problem doing that. And I'm just kind of following the story of Abraham in a sense, like giving up everything to be able to just have faith, essentially. And the guy that I met in the sauna today as well, which is kind of crazy, he had a full back tattoo of like a Japanese samurai warrior, essentially, and found out that his mom was from Japan and spent like about half a decade out there, more or less. And he was the one, like, he sold it. He had a big construction company. Like, he was making good money. He ended up traveling and like going out and doing this, like, over to Asia, essentially. And I was like, you know what? Because like, you can live like a king out there. Like $500 a month is like, that'll get you a lot further. Whereas here in like the States, like, I paid $2,000 for this place. 21, it's like 2,863 or something like that for this place. And don't get me wrong, like, I love it. I love the view. I love being able to see how far I've come, and I'll have a place like this as well. I just have to take care of a couple of things. First, like, I'll have my penthouse. I'll also have land. So I'm not too worried. I love looking at lights. Like, it's something that I just genuinely enjoy. And that's why, like, I'll give up everything. Happily. Because, like, I know I can make $10,000 a month, so I'm not worried about that. I did it twice. Could have done it 3 times, just decided not to. But I've essentially, like, I've done it. And once I do one thing, like, it's like I know it's possible. That's why, like, when I went out to the bar and I got along with this girl and we ended up going to the bathroom, essentially, like, that's something I never would have even imagined. It's just that broke a belief that I have or had. And I'm all about breaking beliefs of what's possible. And I won't know what's possible until, like, I give it a go and I try it. That's why, like, my anime channel that I've been doing content on for the better part of 3 years, more or less, like, is getting views, it's getting traction, it's getting more than I ever have, and it's because I've been posting, like, shorts every single day along with long-form videos twice a day, more or less. So I figure, like, if that's picking up, why not go travel as well? Like, why not go see the world? Why not go experience other people that I have always wanted to experience and make videos from those and then be able to share theirs, like, those experiences that I have with other people? Because, like, even today on my walk, like, I ended up running into a guy that does overlanding. Like, he has a sick rig, a sick Toyota. I can drop his handle. I don't have, my phone's up there. I can't remember what it was. It was something. His name was Kai. I do remember that, but I can't remember his exact handle. But, like, I asked him if he took photos on his travels, and he's like, yeah. And then he has those Instagram photos, and he's like, he's trying to connect with his son essentially through YouTube. And he was telling me about this other guy, LOA or something like that, who just lives out in, like, the countryside and just, like, he shoots guns all day, and that's what he makes money doing that. Like, these are the things that I guess not many people, you guys watching this channel obviously know this, just not everybody has seen that before or has done that before, because, like, they didn't know that it was possible. And that's why I was talking about, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day beforehand, you're either a consumer or a creator. That's really all it is. Like, it's always the black and white. It's like you got the yin and you got the yang. You have the creator and you have the consumer. You have the fit or the healthy and the unhealthy. It's talked about in this book, The Kabbalion, essentially. Like, you can't have one without the other. So it's like you can have God, you can have the devil, you can have good, you can have bad, you can have intelligent, you can have dumb. Like, you can't have one without the other, and that's a realization that I've had to come to. And it's a realization that I have realized, essentially. So it's just, it feels like after I was like, yeah, so my last day is going to be the 14th. And my director essentially asked, he's like, so I'm always curious as to why top performers leave. Like, you may do an exit interview or something like that. And I was just wondering, like, what are you going to do next? Like, is it because of the pay or whatever it was? And I was like, no, I've just worked so hard to get to this point. And now I have enough funds to be able to go do this for a year and actually make memories and experiences instead of just like, I needed this. Don't get me wrong. Like, I needed the books. I needed the knowledge. I needed the experiences. I needed the pain. I needed the sorrow. I needed the grief. I needed every type of emotion. I needed the happiness, the sadness, the anger, the resentment, I was going to say sorrow again. The happiness, the fulfillment. Like, I needed all those things to be able to become the person that I am today. If I didn't have those things, if I didn't have those experiences, if I didn't go through those hard times, I couldn't live the life that I want to live. And I think too often when I first started, I just wanted these things without truly ever experience what it meant to have them. Because a lot of people, like I was saying in the other video, and I know it's not you guys because anyone still watching this channel at day 47 doesn't have this mindset. A lot of people I could see crumbling under what I went through and what I've done and the things that have been told to me by people that I trusted unconditionally. And just the work, the exercise, like the overcoming hardship after hardship after hardship. I don't think many people would go through what I went through. And yet they want to have everything. It's not how it works. It's just not. You have to have the good with the bad. You have to have the bad with the good, like I said. And that's why, like, it's a road that very few people travel. Because people, from what I've been able to see, from what I've been able to witness, they're content living mediocre lives. And that's okay. The ones that watch this channel, you right now, you're not mediocre. You're just not. I don't know how else to say that other than you're not. Like, you've done things that other people only dream of doing. You've had conversations with people that you never expected. You've learned so many things in ways that you never imagined could even happen. You've had conversations, experiences. You've done things that you never dreamed of. Going to a hot spring with a girl that you first met on Tinder that was in nude hot springs. You had no idea who this girl was. And yet, you decided to say fuck it. You decided to throw fire to the wind, essentially. That young, I think I was like 19 at the time. Actually, I might have been 20. The young kid decided to say yes to a random stranger on the internet and go to a nude hot springs and actually be nude in that hot springs. Whereas I could see other people being like, that's kind of strange that you do something like that. For me, like I was worried. I was like, she's not gonna, like, I'm gonna walk out, I'm gonna drop my towel, I'm gonna be butt ass naked, and there she is gonna be in like a bikini or something like that. That wasn't the case. She was there, I was there, we were both just there in our natural element, no questions asked. All I can say, you guys, is do what feels right, and the right things will happen. If you trust your intuition, I can tell you from my own personal experience, things do work out in the ways that they need to. You do have to put in the work, obviously. Don't get me wrong with that. Like, you have to, say, read the books. Read anything that you're curious about. It doesn't have to be the books that I read. These were just the books that I was curious about, and I still have more books that I will read and other books that I will continue to read. There's a book that I still have yet to continue reading because I don't want to know my story yet. My story is not officially written. I'll read the book eventually. I will. It's just like this book. This book transformed my life. I didn't even know it. It did. All these books that I've read, all these experiences that I've had, the conversations with people that I've run into, they've helped me become the type of man that I am today. They've helped me become the man that I can be proud of, that I can look in the mirror and be like, I've done that. I've crafted this person into the one that I see inside. I've put in so much work. So much. Because I never wanted to feel isolated again. I never wanted to feel like I didn't belong. And now, the person that I saw within me that I knew I could become stands in front of me today. It took me time. It took me years. That's why I'm sharing these videos now, because if I had somebody like this that I could watch every single day to see how one day he's up here, then the other day he's down here, and then some days he's right here, maybe he's here, and then he's here, and then it's like, wow, this happened today, and wow, this happened today. Like, I would have found that incredibly valuable, of seeing how somebody else's mind works when it comes to getting started with something. Because like, if I would have started this, doing these video diaries, essentially video blogs, video stories, experiences, words, however you want to look at it. And that's the great thing about human language. I can go into that on another day, and I probably will. But having these, like, me starting this 47 days ago has shown me how much clarity and growth I've had. And I can go back now and watch each and every single one of these videos and be like, wow, this is where I was at this time. Like, when I watch old videos when I first started, they were not good. They were not good. I had to do it. I had to post them. And I showed it to my brother, essentially, like, and he was like, wow, like, we all start somewhere. That's the point that I'm hopefully conveying. So this background that you guys see right here, like, I love it, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to have it on video, essentially, because, like, this is just the start, you guys. Like, this is just the beginning. And it's funny because there's been people that have doubted me. That's why, like, the best type of revenge is massive amounts of success. Like, I forgive them. I've forgiven everybody that's hurt me. So that is so much clarity, peace of mind, calmness. I've never understood holding a grudge. Like, sometimes it's easier said than done. If you want to hold on to it, you can. Me personally, I haven't found value in it. And there's a movie called Unbreakable on Netflix right now. I don't know if it's still on there by the time you watch this video or not. I'd highly recommend you check that out, because the guy was in a concentration camp, essentially, during World War II, I believe. And he was treated like garbage. Absolute garbage. He had the opportunity to run in the Olympics. He was drafted to war. His plane got crashed, stranded at sea for the longest I think anybody ever has been. And then he was beaten in camp. He was ostracized. He was the one that would not break. And people that watch this channel, we're just like that. We don't break. You can hit us. You can punch us. You can say mean, hurtful things to us. It's not going to stop us. Because we have a higher calling. We have a bigger purpose. We believe in ourselves more than anybody else has ever believed in us. I hope this helps you guys.